Amen. If you would turn with me to Psalm 137. It says, "By the rivers of Babylon, there we sat down. Yea, we wept when we remembered Zion. I am a captive of Babylon. The place that I am in is not my home. My whole life I've spent it living in the city of God, the place where God dwells with us, his people. And yet, here I am in Babylon, next to these strange rivers, in this strange place. And in this strange place, I'm charged with work to do, and yet all I can do is sit by the rivers and weep. The great Mount Zion, the place I come from, it's the throne of God's people. Let me tell you, it was beautiful. At the top of Mount Zion was God's temple. Surrounded under it was his city. Let me tell you, his temple was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. It was so huge, the largest structure I've ever seen. It's got its massive courtyard where everyone gathers. It's got its beautiful bronze pillars cloaked in bronze. On the inside, the walls, everything is covered in gold. The furniture on the inside is made of everything wonderful. It was such a beautiful place. And yet, this pride in my life, the last image I have of it is of burning and destruction. The last thing I can think of when I think of my home is ruins. And when I think on Zion, on this beautiful place, all I can do is sit and weep. But here I am today, Timothy. It's centuries later. I'm a Christian. I'm a Gentile. I've never been to Jerusalem. I've never been there. I have no connection to this place. And yet somehow I understand what they mean. See, just like the Israelites, the captives in Babylon, we are all in captivity. We've all been dragged from paradise to this strange place. There in Zion, they had flourishing, they had presence with God, they had joy, they had security. And then they were dragged away to their strange place. And here we are, brought to this world, this world away from heaven, and we are sat down by the rivers of Babylon. We weep on the thoughts of what we've lost. Consider the tears that you've shed because of this world's treatment of you. The treatment that this foreign land that we live in has forced upon you. When I read about Eden, the paradise that we would have once inherited, I see what was lost. When I go to God with my troubles, I find comfort. And yet this comfort that I find, there's still a bit of distance that I'm always feeling. Every time I experience God, I can feel the loss of something that was always present. I get a glimpse of comfort in him, but I also realize that at one point this comfort was literally always. And so here I am, taken away from that, a captive in this place. And when I think of this, all I can do is sit down and weep. But my weeping is temporary, because unlike these captives, the King of Zion is with us in captivity. King Jesus is here in our captivity. And because of this, the sadness of this place, of this strange land, does not have a hold on me. Because of King Jesus, I no longer have to sit and weep. By the rivers of Babylon, there we sat down. Yea, we wept when we remembered Zion. We hanged our harps upon the willows in the midst thereof. In Jerusalem, I was a musician. Me and some other musicians, we made music for Adonai. Along with all the musicians in the city, we made just really good music, the best music you've ever heard. We would gather and play, and everyone from all around would come and watch us. The music we made was unlike anything I've ever heard before. My part in this was that I played the harp. You know, I really liked the harp. But I just don't play anymore. As soon as I got to this strange place, I hung it up on the tree. I haven't touched it since. I just don't feel like there's any point. And I don't know about you guys, but it seems like nothing is all that I want to do these days. See, I get home from class, I get to my dorm room, I sit down, kind of decompress, and what do? I reach to my pocket, grab out my phone, and I start scrolling. I have convictions, I have calling. I see my fellow Christians, my peers, my friends, my family. I know that I could fellowship with them. I know that I could really just love them. I see people as I drive through the town. I see people on the streets, people who need to know their Creator. If I look at anyone who doesn't know their Father, I see them, I know that I could show them. And yet, there's just this draw to nothing. It's because this world, that's what it brings. It brings nothing. It brings sin and it brings distraction. That's all this strange place has. And in endless scrolling, it's not the only pitfall. It's a big one in my life and in probably a lot of our lives, but I have an endless list of distractions, of false excuses that I can put. And it's all just nothing. And yet, it doesn't end there, because in this strange land with all its distractions, King Jesus is with us. All I want to do is come to this strange place, hang my convictions on the trees, and do nothing, but Jesus Christ has called me to something better. And it's because of Jesus Christ that I can take my harp off the tree and I can sing the songs of salvation. Even in this wicked place, God can be glorified. By the rivers of Babylon, there we sat down. Yea, we wept when we remembered Zion. We hanged our harps upon the willows in the midst thereof. For there they that carried us away captive required of us a song. And they that wasted us required of us mirth, saying, Sing us one of the songs of Zion. First, the wicked Babylon destroyed my home. Then they dragged me away into captivity. And if that wasn't enough, they mock me. They destroyed the beautiful city, and then they ask for her songs. They know what they're doing. They don't care about the songs of Zion. They only care to mock. They only care to beat a dead horse. How dare the people that tore down her walls, pillaged her storerooms, sacked her city, put her children to death, how dare these people ask for her songs? In this world, it has no respect for heaven either, for the things of God. For centuries, the church has been persecuted. For centuries, the church has been subject to mockery. As her technology grows, this wicked world grows in its own hubris. They think of themselves as the gods of their own worlds. They think that a faith in our Creator is foolish. They mock us because we have a faith in what we know to be true. This place is not our home. This world does not understand. And yet, I know that that's not the end. No longer do we have to take this torment. No longer do we have to sit in this mockery. Because of Jesus Christ, we've been called to sing the songs of the Lord, to sing the songs of Zion. We must sing about what our King has done for us. By the rivers of Babylon, there we sat down. Yea, we wept when we remembered Zion. We hanged our harps upon the willows in the midst thereof. For there they that carried us away captive required of us a song. And they wasted us, and those who wasted us required of us mirth, saying, Sing one of the songs of Zion. How shall we sing the Lord's song in a strange land? My heart longs to sing the songs of Zion. My captors demand of me the songs of Zion, but I just can't do it. My passion is to make music for the Lord. And yet, the Lord just feels so far from me. This place is wicked. This place is evil. This place is no place for God's people. How could the Lord be in such an evil place? How could I sing songs to Adonai when he's so far from me? How could I sing songs to Adonai while I'm in a land that's so unclean? How can I sing songs to Adonai when his temple, when his beautiful city lies in ruins? This world, it feels so far from the kingdom of heaven. I look at the news today, the news which talks primarily of violence and corruption. I look at the culture that is dominant today, the culture that my little brother, who's this tall, I see the culture that he has to be grown up in, and I hate it. How are we as Christians supposed to shine light in such darkness? How are we to prevail in such a strange place? And it's on this thought that I fall into despair. I fall into despair, and I think, how could I sing the Lord's song in such a strange land? But then I ponder what Jesus has done. I remember the grace of Jesus. I remember the forgiveness of Jesus. No, it's not how could I sing the Lord's song in a strange land. It's how could I not? How could I not sing the Lord's song in this place? How can I not sing about the grace of God? How can I not sing about the love that he's lavished on us? Don't give in to the despair of this world. Jesus has already prevailed against it. Sing the songs of the Lord. Preach to the strange land what he has done. This is what we are to do. If I forget thee, O Jerusalem, let my right hand forget her cunning. In this land, I can no longer sing the songs of Zion. But curse my right hand if I ever forget her. See, as a musician, my right hand, my left hand, these are how I play my music. These are how I make my living. Without my hands, I cannot sustain myself. But curse this hand if ever I forget the Lord and his city. Without the knowledge, without the memory of God and his beautiful promised land, curse my hands. May I never make a living again, because without God, without his land, without even the memory of it, what's the point? Curse my hands, curse my life, if I do not remember you, God, and your lovely city. God, if I ever forget you, I will succumb to death. Jesus, without you, I am lost. As long as there is life in me, I will sing of what you've done for me. Even as my life ends, your praises still continue. In resurrection, I will still praise you. I curse the moment that God does not receive glory from these hands. And I curse these hands if ever they do not work for the purpose of praising God. If I forget thee, O Jerusalem, let my right hand forget her cunning. If I do not remember thee, let my tongue cleave to the roof of my mouth. if I prefer Jerusalem not above my chief joy. O Jerusalem, you are my highest joy. Nothing in this world makes me feel the way that you do. If ever a day comes that I don't remember you, Jerusalem, let my voice be cut off. If ever my songs reflect anything other than you, may these songs turn to ashes in my mouth. The purposes of this mouth that you've given me are for you, Lord, and you alone. They are for you and your city, your city, the place that you reside. That's what I live for. Oh Jesus, you are my highest joy. Nothing in this world makes me feel the way that you do. If ever a day comes that I don't remember you, may my voice be cut off. See, God gave me this mouth so that I might sing of his praises. And that's what I intend to do, to sing his praises. When the moment comes that I sing the praises of anything else other than you, may my words be cut from my mouth. Because my mouth, my words, are reserved for you. Praise Jesus. Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. God, I remember the day that they took your beautiful city from us. As we were marched away, the children of Edom were there. And I remember a time when Edom would have run to us to defend us. And yet, this time they were there, but they were there to mock, to bring destruction. Their ancestor Esau and our ancestor Jacob, there was a time when they ran, when Esau ran to our ancestor to embrace him, to hug him, to kiss him. They shed tears together because in that moment, two lost brothers were reunited. Edom, on this day, should have run to their brother to help, but instead, they ran over to mock and to destroy. God, remember what Edom has done on that evil day. And I consider the people of this world that we live today, these people that we were raised up with, we were born in the same hospitals as these people. We went to the same schools. Our childhoods were intertwined. These people should be like brothers and sisters to us. And yet the moment that we started proclaiming the gospel of Christ, a divide happened. We became like strangers to them. Again, I say the people of this world should be like brothers and sisters, and yet we're strangers. God, remember what they've done. Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom on the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us. Adonai, these things that these wicked people have done to us, they bring my very being to weep. Everything I have, everything I am, these people have taken from me. You are a God of justice, so God, bring justice to these people. Your law calls for an eye for an eye. God, these people have taken everything from me. Take everything from them. They say that blessed is a man who does the will of God. I say, blessed is the man that ruins wicked Babylon. God, justice is yours. I trust and I have faith that you will deliver those who know your truth and believe in it. And I have faith that those who know your truth and deny it will be cast away. God, I trust your justice. Praise God. Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. O daughter Babylon, who art to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us. Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones. I remember before all this happened, there was a little boy that lived down the street from my house. This boy, he couldn't have been more than 2, about yay high. And this boy, he had just learned to speak his first word. And his parents were so proud of him. They brought him to every door in our neighborhood, just showing him off. And this boy, he became the pride of our little section of the city. But then Babylon came. And now our little section of the city has no pride. God, I hate them. God, do to them what they have done to us. God, take away their pride. God, there has been a lifetime of situations where this world has taken away your people on account of you. Families torn apart, innocent lives ended, lives destroyed because of the wickedness of this place. God, to those who have taken from the innocent, let theirs be taken. And yet, Jesus, you call us to forgive. You tell us that justice belongs to you. Jesus, help us to forgive. No more will the wickedness of this world drive us into hatred. We trust in your justice, Jesus. We trust in you. And so, as I come to conclusion here, just like the captives in Babylon, we as Christians are in a place that we do not belong. As they had Zion, we once had paradise, complete unity with God, and yet here we are now, surrounded by evil. The calling of this psalm, and my challenge to you, is to hate this world. Hate this world and its evil ways and its drive to corrupt God's people. My call is to hate this world, but also to long for the kingdom of heaven, the kingdom that is our true home. Thank you.